Very interesting, isn't it? Interesting ideas. Recently, 3 remarkable books written by an officer and a gentleman were publicly presented. Here's a report.
Kindly register so that we can recognize your presence here today.
This public presentation book event marks the culmination of a 3-year intensive literary work by the author, who before now had published books for junior and secondary school students. Family members, friends, former and present colleagues in the academia, as well as those in the military, come to celebrate with Commodore Sani Eman Akintomide Olamilokun on his lofty achievement.
Taking the author's ingenuity to arrive at such a captivating title, it is only those that are familiar with the initials and the meaning of his own name that could decode the word C in the book, who says there is nothing in a name.
About the seas, a memoir of leadership steps. About the sky, a memoir of opportunities and growth, and a scholar's perception of governance, politics, and strategy. The books.
The book, About the Sea, is a memoir of leadership steps written to put on record the leadership steps of the author. In the book, the author argues that good leadership is required to lay a solid foundation for any system.
Chapter 2 of the book is captioned Leadership Traits. In this chapter, the author gave different definitions of leadership. He also indicated that the primary purpose of leadership of this chapter is meant to give an outline of tested qualities and habits of some leaders that the teachers might want to adapt or adopt.
About This Sky is an autobiography. It narrates the path of the author and his reflections on the past, his childhood, parents, his opportunities as a young officer, and his love for the Nigerian Army as a career.
I want to commend the author for his doggedness in writing these 3 books that focus on A, leadership, B, opportunities and growth, and C, the author's perception of governance, politics, and military strategy. These are all important subjects relevant to our situations as a people desirous of fast-tracking our development journeys.
A scholar's perception of governance, politics, and military strategy is an account of the author on the salient extractions of his studies as a scholar in various institutions. The author recognizes the military as capable of influencing the governance of a country. He argues that the military has the wherewithal to contribute to political discourse of a country because they are deeply involved. The contents of the book are applicable to the present-day security challenges globally and how the military can deploy appropriate technology to combat all forms of terrorism.
The book started with an introduction to strategy. It captured, as expected, the instruments of policies and state power to include and not limited to the old and the new national anthem and the pledge. It focused on the fundamentals, defense and foreign policy, the grand national strategy, concluding with the relevance of the application of General J.F.C. Fuller's theories to the fundamentals of state power.
In a separate interview, the author explains what inspires him to write.
Writing in itself didn't come just like that. I love good books. So in reading good books, if I have certain things that I have in me, I believe in giving it out. And the only way of doing so is to write books.
All 3 books are published by Grand Affairs Publishers, headed by Mrs. Abimbola Olamilokun, the author's wife.
He's a very thorough man. He's a very fair man, fair in this, and he's full of integrity, 100% integrity. I can say 100%. You can see somebody said to him, when he was supposed to do something, you give him little, and you get more than what you are giving to him, and that is who he is.
Commodore Akintomide Olamilokun retired from the Nigerian Navy in 2008. He held several positions in the military and retired as the Director of Naval Education. Besides these latest 3, the author has written 10 other books in computer education for all categories of secondary school students.
Farm for Oil Literacy Day is an educative corporate social responsibility initiative by Farm for Oil Limited to foster a reading culture among children in primary schools, and it seems to have come to stay. After the memorable first edition that took place in 2019, children from over 50 nursery and primary schools in Lagos State were happy to be part of the 2020 follow-up edition. But before attending to the main matter of the day, there was an important reminder of the danger of coronavirus and the lifestyle required to slow down its spread.
We all get the steps, so that's how to wash.
Finally, the Vice Chairman of Farm for Oil, Mrs. Folorunsho Alakija, laid the premise.
Our hope is that FOLD, Farm for Oil Literacy Day, will inspire young minds to read and therefore motivate them to pursue knowledge.
This year, the book selected is The First Female Ruler of Leko, written by 10-year-old Oluwatofumi Ayomikun Lawal.
The Village of Leko.
The book, with 4 chapters, had different guest readers on the day. They tell the story as the pupils read along.
One of the palace guards dashed in, trembling. Oba Akinjobi was given the news that his wife was found lifeless on the bed.
It was question time, and their comprehension skills were put to a test.
Moyinot what?
Atonda.
Moyinot Atonda. And what is your answer to this question?
None of the above.
None of the above. Is she correct?
Spelling Bee, the classic game of words, was part of the program. The participants spelled their way through a series of words.
The word is interrogation. 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 Interrogation.
After a battle of wits, a winner emerged.
Getting more education through the ability to read right from those early stages would reduce poverty. And the modern day living right now requires that you should have good knowledge, good education, and be able to contribute your quota to make the world a better place.
With a promise to do more, Farm for Oil Management says it's committed and passionate about early childhood education as a way to create economic prosperity and a better society.
The Channels Book Club Prize for Literature Season 5 is still on. This competition is for senior secondary school students in Nigeria. All you need to do is to get this interesting book titled Daughters Who Walk This Path. Read it and write an essay to review it. The key source of information for all things related to this competition is www.channelstv.com/book club. You can also check up our social media platforms displayed on your screen for updates. Well, I hope you have enjoyed the show today. Please join us again next week for another good time. My name is Olakunle Kasumo. Remember, one great book can change your life. Bye-bye.